He's so clueless. He actually thinks I'm madly in love with him. The wedding is in 3 weeks. The trap is set. He believes all my lies. Those were the words of my fiancée, Olivia, the woman I was about to marry, spoken to her best friend, my maid of honor, Mia. Words I overheard by accident. My heart didn't just break in that moment, it imploded. But I didn't confront her. Oh no. I just quietly pressed record on my phone and waited for the rehearsal dinner. The way her perfect plan detonated in her face, in front of both our families, it was a masterpiece of her own making. Stick around for this one and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss these insane Reddit confessions. 3 days ago, I was blissfully, stupidly, in the final frantic stages of planning my wedding to Olivia. We'd been together 4 years, engaged for 1. I thought she was it. My forever. That laughable notion shattered into a million pieces on Wednesday. I came home from work a bit early, planning to surprise her. The apartment was quiet. Then I heard her voice from her office, the spare room she'd claimed. She was on the phone, animated, laughing. I was about to walk in, surprise her with an early dinner idea, when her laugh, a specific, almost giddy laugh that wasn't usually meant for me, made me pause. "Oh my God, Mia," Olivia's voice floated out, clear as day. "He's so clueless. He actually thinks I'm madly in love with him. The wedding is in 3 weeks. The trap is set. He believes all my lies." My blood turned to ice. Mia, her best friend, her maid of honor. "Once that ring is on my finger and the papers are signed," Olivia continued, her voice laced with a chilling confidence, "I'm golden. His little inheritance isn't much, but it'll be our inheritance then, won't it? Enough for a very comfortable start once I evaluate things." Another laugh, sharp and cruel. Mia's voice came through, slightly muffled but audible. "You're terrible, Liv. But seriously, that prenup he wanted you to sign? You dodged a bullet there." "Oh, that," Olivia chuckled. Yeah. Cried my way out of that one. Said it was unromantic that he didn't trust me. Worked like a charm. He's so eager to play house, he'd agree to anything. Bless his naive heart. My naive heart. The one currently being ripped out and stomped on. "He thinks this is about love," Olivia purred. "It's about security, sweetie. And honestly, a little bit of payback for every guy who ever wasted my time. This one will pay for it. Literally." My heart didn't just shatter. It imploded. The air left my lungs. I backed away from the door silently, hand instinctively going to my phone. Voice memo, record. I stood there, frozen, as she detailed her perfect, cynical plan for another 10 agonizing minutes. How she'd fake marital bliss for a year or 2, then manufacture a reason for divorce, aiming for half of everything, including my inheritance from my grandparents. Money, I'd told her, in confidence, was for our future, for the kids we supposedly both wanted. She knew what that money meant to me. Her resistance to the prenup I gently suggested. Her recent increased spending. Her vague answers about her own contributions to wedding costs. It all clicked into place with sickening clarity. It was all lies. I whispered, my voice barely a breath. "No more." I didn't confront her. What was the point? I had her words, her voice, her entire treacherous plan recorded. I saved the recording, multiple backups, cloud, thumb drive, private email. The next 2 days were agony. I went through the motions. Final wedding talk, vendor calls. Olivia was all fake smiles and sickeningly sweet affection. My skin crawled every time she touched me. Every loving word felt like a burn. I played along. The rehearsal dinner was set for Friday night, both our families, close friends. About 50 people at her pricey restaurant choice. She thought it was the precursor to her triumph. She had no idea the trap she'd set was about to snap shut on her. I haven't slept properly since Wednesday. Just been planning. Methodically. My parents know. I played them the recording Thursday night. My mom cried. My dad looked murderous. They were with me, 100%. They'd be my witnesses. It was all going down. 12 hours post-rehearsal dinner. It's done. I'm in a hotel room now, phone blowing up with calls and texts, ignoring it all. The rehearsal dinner, Olivia was radiant. Her blush pink dress probably cost a mint. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Harrison, were beaming, so proud. Her sister Sophia, one of the bridesmaids, looked smug, like she was in on a secret. And Mia, the MOH, practically vibrated with anticipation. I was dead calm. Got through the venue rehearsal, which felt surreal, then on to dinner and the speeches. Her dad, Mr. Harrison, gushed about how lucky I was, how Olivia was such a prize. I almost snorted into my water glass. Then it was my turn. I stood up, cleared my throat. The room quieted. Olivia watched me with those wide, innocent eyes that now made me physically sick. "Thank you all for being here," I began, my voice steady. "This was meant to be a celebration of love, of commitment. Olivia and I have been on quite a journey together." I paused, looked around the room, made eye contact with my parents. My mom gave a tiny, almost imperceptible nod. "But it seems," I continued, my gaze settling on Olivia, "that my journey with Olivia has been based on a very different understanding of what commitment actually means. Olivia," her smile wavered slightly, a flicker of unease in her eyes, "you often talk about honesty, about trust. So in the spirit of honesty," I said, my voice gaining strength, "I have something I'd like to share, something you all need to hear, especially you, Olivia, and you, Mia." I looked directly at her parents. "Mr. and Mrs. Harrison, I think you should listen very closely to what your daughter truly values." I pulled out my phone and a small, powerful Bluetooth speaker from my suit jacket pocket, connected it, pressed play. The room silenced. Then, Olivia's voice filled the air, crystal clear, amplified. "Oh my God, Mia. He's so clueless. He actually thinks I'm madly in love with him. The wedding is in 3 weeks. The trap is set. He believes all my lies. Every word, every calculated syllable. Her boasts about targeting my inheritance, her deception about the prenup, her chilling talk of payback, her cruel laughter echoing through the now pin-drop silent restaurant. The only sound, besides her recorded voice, was the occasional gasp. Olivia's face. It was a masterpiece of dawning horror. Confusion. Then shock. Then a ghastly, corpse-like white. Mia looked like she'd seen a ghost. Mr. Harrison, Olivia's dad, shot up from his chair, sputtering incoherently. Mrs. Harrison gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. The recording ended. A beat of stunned, suffocating silence. Then Olivia shrieked, a raw, animal sound. "Turn it off! That's not real. He's lying. He doctored it." "It's real, Olivia," I said, my voice cutting through her hysteria. "Your voice, your words, your plan. Recorded Wednesday afternoon in our apartment." I looked at her parents. I believe the term she used was wedding trap. Sound familiar? "Ethan." Mr. Harrison finally found his voice, his face puce. "What is the meaning of this? This is outrageous." "The meaning, Mr. Harrison," my dad interjected, his voice like steel, "is that your daughter is a con artist. And my son, thank God, found out before it was too late. We have verified copies of that recording, by the way." Olivia was in full-blown hysterics now, sobbing, screaming. "It's a lie! He's trying to ruin me! Mia, tell them! Tell them it's not true!" Mia just stared, mouth agape, shaking her head slowly, completely useless. I looked at Olivia, the woman I thought I loved. No anger left, just a vast, cold emptiness. "The wedding is off, Olivia," I stated flatly. "Obviously, all vendor contracts, all deposits paid from my accounts, consider them forfeit. A small price to pay for this lesson. Any gifts received will be returned immediately. As for you," my voice was devoid of any warmth, "you have a lot of explaining to do to your family and your friends." I pocketed the speaker, looked at my parents. "We're leaving." And we walked out. The sound of Olivia screaming, her father yelling, guests gasping and murmuring faded as the restaurant doors closed behind us. My phone started ringing before we even reached the parking lot. Olivia. Her parents. Sophia. Mia. Blocked. 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 The wedding vendors will be an issue, I know. Lost deposits. Cancellation fees. The apartment lease is solely in my name, thank God. The bulk of the wedding expenses came from my dedicated wedding fund. I'll eat those costs. Infinitely cheaper than a divorce from her down the line, especially one she was already planning to be contentious and profitable for herself. She was left stammering amidst the chaos of her own making. Her perfect plan detonated in her face in the most public way possible. It's a huge, ugly mess, but it feels like a clean break, or at least the start of one. First thing Monday morning, after a restless Sunday, I had the locks changed on my apartment. Wasn't cheap, especially for a weekday call-out, around $300, but worth every single cent for the peace of mind. 1 week later, wild week. The fallout is extensive. My lawyer, Mr. Hayes, got him recommended by a colleague, and on the phone by Monday afternoon, has been earning his retainer. Olivia and her family are in full meltdown. A mutual acquaintance texted, "OMG, dude, epic!" Said Olivia went full banshee after we left the rehearsal dinner. Accusations, denials, tears. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Harrison, utterly humiliated. Most of their friends, horrified. The entitlement, however, escalates. The day after the rehearsal dinner detonation, the emails started. Not from Olivia. She's too cowardly now, apparently. From her father, Mr. Harrison. Subject line, urgent financial ramifications and slander. He claimed I'd publicly humiliated and slandered Olivia, demanded I pay for their wedding expenses. Olivia's dress, accessories, the bridal shower costs her mom through, plus $25,000 for emotional distress and reputational harm, to be transferred within 48 hours to begin to make amends. That was beyond ridiculous. Mr. Hayes drafted a polite but firm reply, stated the recording is authentic. Truth is an absolute defense to slander. My wedding expenses from my fund are my loss. Their expenses are their own, given Olivia's documented actions. Any further demands for money will be considered harassment. Then Sophia, Olivia's sister, initiated a group chat with me and a few of my friends, who immediately forwarded it to me with eye-roll emojis. Sophia wrote, "Ethan, you're a monster. Olivia is devastated. She loved you. This is all a huge misunderstanding. That recording was her joking, taken out of context. You owe her an apology, and you need to fix this. People make mistakes. You're ruining her life over a stupid joke." A stupid joke? Defrauding someone of their inheritance, planning a sham marriage for financial gain. That's a stupid joke? The delusion is strong with this family. One of my friends actually replied in the chat, "Sophia, we've all heard the tape. No context makes the wedding trap is set a loving jest. Your sister got caught. Ethan owes her nothing." Sophia's response? A string of angry emojis. Then she left the chat. The supporters club. Olivia still has a few die-hard supporters. A couple of cousins, one or two ditzy friends, who are actually buying the "it was just a joke" narrative. Vague, passive-aggressive posts on social media about cruelty, how some people can't take a joke, how Olivia is the real victim. They're tagging her, sending love and strength. Pathetic. Dirty trick. Attempt number 1, the apartment. Midweek, I got a call from building security. Olivia and her mother, Mrs. Harrison, had shown up at my apartment building demanding access. Olivia was apparently crying, claiming she'd left her medication and all her important documents inside. Security, thankfully, called me first. I told them absolutely no entry. I'd already arranged for her belongings to be professionally packed and retrieved under supervision. Mrs. Harrison apparently threw a fit in the lobby, calling me heartless. Olivia sobbed dramatically. They left after security threatened to call the police for causing a disturbance. I was just glad her brother, Jacob, who I'd always found to be the most level-headed of the bunch, though quiet, wasn't with them participating in that parade of entitlement. Mr. Hayes strongly advised getting her things out professionally to avoid any claims of damage or theft. It took a couple of days to coordinate, but by Wednesday, a bonded packing service meticulously inventoried and moved all of Olivia's identifiable belongings into a secure storage unit. Another $700 down the drain, but it cut off another potential avenue for her drama. Mr. Hayes then sent a formal letter to Mr. Harrison detailing how Olivia could arrange collection from the storage unit, at her own expense, of course. The sheer audacity. Tries to scam me, gets caught red-handed, then demands access, plays the victim. Her mother enables this. The big wedding vendors have been mostly understanding. Surprisingly, venue keeps the large deposit. Contract is fair. Caterer, too. Photographer offered a 50% refund if he rebooks the date. Florist is a total loss. All in, I'm probably out around $20,000. An expensive lesson, but infinitely cheaper than marrying her and then going through the divorce she was already planning. I closed the barely used joint wedding planning bank account. It was mostly my money in there anyway. My personal accounts are secure. One night, around 3 a.m., it hit me. Not the money, the betrayal. 4 years together. I really thought, well, does it even matter now? That person I thought she was clearly didn't exist. It was a performance. That hurt for a bit. Then the cool, steady anger and resolve returned. She's not getting another cent from me. No apology, no fixing this. She built this bonfire. I just lit the match with her own words. I'm just waiting for their next move. I'm sure there'll be one. People like this don't just slink away quietly. 1 month later. 1 month since D-Day, or Detonation Day, as I'm now calling it, LOL. The dust has mostly settled, but not before Olivia and Comey tried a few more desperate, entitled moves, and I, in turn, gave them the consequences they so richly deserved, which was, frankly, incredibly satisfying. Mr. Harrison's $25K demand and slander suit threats went absolutely nowhere. Mr. Hayes' polite but steel-cord response, reminding them that malicious prosecution is a very real thing, and that playing the actual recording in my defense to concerned parties, like our wedding guests, was perfectly legitimate, silenced them pretty effectively. Mr. Harrison probably got some actual legal advice from a lawyer not blinded by family loyalty, and realized they had no case. Smear campaign intensifies, then backfires beautifully. Olivia, Sophia, and their flying monkeys ramped up the "Ethan is a cruel monster who misunderstood a joke" campaign online. Vague posts became slightly more direct. Comments started appearing on my locked-down social media from fake profiles. They were careful not to be directly libelous, just insinuating. Olivia, after a week of silence, plotting, probably, posted a tearfully worded non-apology on her public Instagram. Something along the lines of, "My heart is broken by the misunderstanding that has shattered my world. A private joke was cruelly twisted and used against me. I only ever loved him. I'm a victim of misinterpretation and malicious intent. Please pray for me as I try to heal from this devastating betrayal." Pics of her looking wan and tearful accompanied it. Initial comments were sympathetic, mostly from her echo chamber. This is where I decided I'd had enough of playing purely defensive. My revenge? The truth, offensive. I didn't say a word myself. I took that original crystal-clear voice recording, all 10-plus minutes of it, not just the rehearsal dinner highlights, and uploaded it to a popular anonymous file-sharing site. Then, I created a new, anonymous, throwaway social media account. I posted a simple message. For those interested in the full context of Olivia's private joke, she claims was cruelly twisted, here is the unedited audio. Listen for yourself and decide who the victim is. I used that anonymous account to reply to every single one of Olivia's supportive comments on her victim post, to Sophia's posts, and to her flying monkeys posts with that simple message and the link. I also DM'd it to key local community group pages and gossip forums Olivia and her family frequented. The effect was glorious. Within hours, the link was everywhere in our social circles. People listened. They heard all of it. The coldness in her voice, the specifics of the financial trap, the contempt she had for me, her admission of the prenup deceit, Mia's full complicity. There was no misunderstanding it, no taking it out of context. It was a full confession of premeditated fraud. Olivia's victim post was suddenly flooded with new comments. The vast majority were scathing, quoting her own words back at her. Things like, "The trap is set," "Real loving joke, Olivia," and "Payback for every guy who ever wasted my time." So Ethan was just collateral damage? Of course, a few keyboard warriors and distant relatives tried to spin wild theories or yell about privacy. Ironic, huh? But they were largely shouted down or ignored. The general consensus, especially in our actual community, was clear. Olivia was a fraud. Olivia deleted her post within 24 hours. Then she deleted her entire Instagram account. Sophia went private. Mia, the MOH, vanished from social media altogether. Too late. The audio was out there like glitter. You can't get rid of it. The fallout for them, I heard through the grapevine, mostly reliable sources, now very pro-Ethan, has been extensive. Olivia is a pariah. Old friends are dropping her. Fence sitters are now firmly Team Ethan. Mia, too, faced a reckoning. The full audio didn't just circulate socially. Someone, likely another disgruntled former friend of hers or Olivia's, made sure a transcript highlighting Mia's enthusiastic complicity, along with a link to the audio, landed on an industry ethics watchdog site, naming her and her employer. She works in a very public-facing finance role where trust is paramount. Last I heard, she was on indefinite leave while her company investigated the serious allegations impacting client confidence. Sounded like career death to me. Frankly, good. Olivia's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Harrison, are humiliated. Their active community social standing took a massive hit. Sideways looks at the country club, awkward questions about how they raised their daughter, why they defended her. Sophia's fiancé's family heard the audio. Small town. They are reportedly having serious second thoughts about their upcoming wedding. Serves her right for enabling her sister's con. A couple of weeks later, Olivia finally arranged to get her things from storage. She didn't come, nor did her parents or Sophia. Instead, it was her brother, Jacob. As I'd always thought, he seemed genuinely mortified by the whole circus. He was polite with the storage company staff, paid Olivia's outstanding fees without a word of protest, and just got it done. Guilt trip from Olivia's grandma. Sweet old lady I actually liked. Grandma Evelyn called me, crying. "Ethan, dear," she began, "I know what Olivia did was wrong. Terribly wrong. But she's my granddaughter. She's destroyed. Her life is ruined. Is there any forgiveness in your heart? A quiet apology? Would you consider taking down that recording?" That was the only moment I felt a pang of something akin to sadness. "Grandma Evelyn," I said gently, "I respect you immensely, but the recording is the truth. Olivia planned to defraud me, lied to me, and then tried to ruin my reputation when she got caught. The consequences are hers to bear. Taking the audio down won't change what she did, or protect others if she doesn't learn from this." She sighed sadly. "I understand, dear. I had to ask." We ended the call politely. The sweetest revenge is living well and them knowing it. I'm good. Better than good. That $20K loss still stings a bit, but it was a small price for freedom from a con artist. My friends have been amazing. My family, rock solid. I'm focusing on work, hitting the gym, rediscovering hobbies Olivia subtly discouraged. Best part? The whispers. Olivia is struggling to find a decent job. Word gets around. Her family is keeping a very low profile. She moved back in with her parents. Her perfect plan, her wedding trap, detonated and left a crater right in the middle of her life. She thought she set a trap for me. Turns out, she was caught in her own. The whole world saw her for who she really is, and that, my friends, is incredibly satisfying. No change of heart from her or her core supporters has been reported. Just silence from their end, and I imagine a lot of bitter resentment. Good. Let them choke on it. I'm moving on. They get to live with the public shame of her actions. Real justice served.